drive. Degrees in Melbourne, rain developing tomorrow, a top of 27. It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon, I'm Tony Tardio. Prime Minister Julia Gillard says the coalition now has plenty of time to reveal its costings after she named September 14 as the date for the next federal election. Ms Gillard says the poll's certainty will provide the chance for a proper debate about the policies of the major parties.
There is now clearly the time and certainty necessary for the people and parties contesting the election to lay out their fully detailed, costed plans for the timely consideration of voters.
Opposition leader Tony Abbott says the coalition is ready for anything.
We now have the date to do it. We now have the date to change it. And I think all Australians can now look forward to September the 14th.
The Prime Minister has been accused of being sloppy after choosing the holiest day of the Jewish calendar as the election date. Federal MP Josh Frydenberg says the date disadvantages Jewish people.
Look, I'm disappointed in the Prime Minister because I think this is sloppy that she's chosen Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar in which to hold the election. It will obviously make it very difficult for many people in the Australian Jewish community to participate.
A 75-year-old man has been charged following the deadly fire in Gippsland. More than 22 properties were destroyed and an 80-year-old man died in the blaze, which began at Aberfeldy on January 17. The man will face the Latrobe Valley Magistrates Court this afternoon. He's charged with 5 offences, including recklessly causing a bushfire and causing a fire to be lit without written authority in a fire-protected area. The death toll from Queensland's flood crisis now stands at 6 after police found a second body in a swollen creek near Gatton. Police found the first body inside a car at Sandy Creek near Glen earlier this morning. The discoveries have ended a search for 2 farm workers who'd been missing since Sunday. And Queensland Premier Campbell Newman says they've found one large group of people who'll be stranded northwest of Brisbane for some time to come.
250 campers have been isolated at Manor, the tourist park northwest of Kingaroy, and they'll be stranded for 3 or 4 more days, but food drops are being organised.
The coroner has recommended future road tunnels be built with emergency lanes in the wake of the deadly 2007 Burnley tunnel crash. Lauren Hilbert reports.
State Coroner Jennifer Coate has made 14 recommendations to improve tunnel safety following the fiery Burnley tunnel crash which left 3 men dead. The crash in March 2007 occurred when a truck driver lost control of his vehicle while trying to avoid another truck which was stopped in the left-hand lane. Judge Coate said the crash had affected the psyche of the state and caused fear for many who use the tunnel. In handing down her findings, she said the design and operation of the tunnel was not to blame, but recommended future road tunnels accommodate emergency stopping lanes and a possible ban on changing lanes in tunnels be considered. She also recommended Vic Roads continue to educate the public on safe tunnel driving practices. Lauren Hilbert, Coroner's Court.
WorkSafe has shut down a work site in Hawthorn after a concrete wall fell on 2 men this morning. One of the men had to be winched out from under a ton of rubble with a crane. The men remain in the Alfred Hospital. Rosanna Bonacurso from WorkSafe says a prohibition notice has been issued on the site.
It's important the work on that site is stopped until that site's been properly assessed by an engineer to prevent any further incidents like this from occurring.
The finance news and the share market is up 8 points at the close. The dollar is buying 104.72 US cents. Updating sports, and St Kilda has reappointed Nick Riewoldt as captain for his 8th season. Riewoldt will be supported in the leadership group by 7 senior players, including Lee Montagna and Nick Del Santo. Earlier today, Travis Boak was named captain of Port Adelaide. Meanwhile, the AFL has just concluded its summit into the use of illicit drugs by players. Psychologist Dr. Michael Gregg was one of the first speakers to address AFL and club officials, saying the league's 3-strike policy needs to be reduced to 2 strikes, with the club to be notified so they can offer support.
Clubs need to act in loco parentis, as a parent. So we need to think of this as a family. And if you've got kids in the family and they're doing things, you want to know about it and you want to be able to provide them with support. Clearly the fear is that some clubs, if they discovered that these people are using, that they'd get rid of